In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry returns to Hogwarts for his second year, but the school is shadowed by a new mystery. Strange attacks leave students petrified, and a chilling message warns that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened once again. With the help of his friends, Ron and Hermione, Harry sets out to uncover the truth behind the legend, facing dark forces, hidden passages, and secrets. Buried deep within the school's history, the adventure tests their courage and loyalty as they fight to protect Hogwarts from a terrifying threat about the author. J.K. Rowling is a British author, renowned worldwide for the Harry Potter series. After the massive success of her debut novel, Rowling continued to craft stories filled with rich characters, imaginative worlds, and themes of friendship, bravery, and the fight between good and evil. Her writing has captivated readers of all ages and has become a cornerstone of modern fantasy literature. As summer's warmth began to fade and the leaves outside turned gold and crimson, Harry Potter found himself once again trapped in the dull gray world of the Dursleys. The oppressive air of Privet Drive weighed heavily on him, the familiar coldness from his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon reminding him that he was different, an outsider in a place that was supposed to be his home. Their spoiled son Dudley continued to bully and demand attention, while Harry was sent to clean the house and sleep in the tiny cupboard beneath the stairs, the same place where he had lived all these years before discovering he was a wizard. Despite the dreariness of his summer, Harry's heart clung to one bright hope: his return to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the magical castle that had become his true home. It was a place of wonder and friendship, where he belonged with his closest friends Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. But this year something felt different. There was a sense of unease hanging in the air, like a shadow lurking just beyond the castle's walls. That feeling was soon confirmed when Harry's life took an unexpected turn. Late one evening, as he sat alone in his small room, a sudden noise startled him. In a whirl of light and a strange rustling sound, a small creature appeared before him. It was a house elf, a tiny magical being with large bat-like ears and eyes that shimmered with worry. The creature introduced itself as Dobby, and with a voice trembling. Between fear and urgency, it warned Harry not to return to Hogwarts. "Danger lies ahead, Master Harry. You must not go back," Dobby pleaded, waving his thin arms wildly. "Terrible things will happen if you do. You must stay away." Harry was both amazed and confused. He had never seen a house elf before, and the creature's desperation made him wonder what grave danger awaited. But Harry was resolute. No matter the warnings, he would not let fear keep him from returning to the magical world he loved. The thought of spending another year with the Dursleys, locked away and miserable, was unbearable. As the days passed, Dobby's attempts to keep Harry home became more and more frantic and more chaotic. He caused all sorts of trouble, from ruining dinner to disrupting letters arriving for Harry. Yet despite the warnings and the messes, Harry's determination grew stronger. He would leave for Hogwarts, no matter what. Finally, when the first day of term arrived, Harry was at King's Cross Station, ready to board the Hogwarts Express. There, he reunited with Ron and Hermione, two friends who welcomed him with smiles and stories of their summer adventures. But the reunion was far from peaceful. Ron's family had a new addition, a magical car that could fly, and a mischievous brother named Fred and George, who delighted in pranks and laughter, On the train, Harry and Ron shared a compartment and quickly became fast friends. They swapped sweets like chocolate frogs and Bertie Bott's every flavor beans and talked excitedly about their classes. Hermione joined them soon after, her bushy hair and serious manner a perfect match for her brilliant mind. However, not all the new faces were friendly. Harry noticed a pale boy with slick blonde hair named Draco Malfoy, who seemed to look down on Ron and Harry with disdain. Malfoy's cold smile and sneering words hinted at trouble ahead. He made it clear that he thought himself better than others, and warned Harry to stay away from those like Ron, whom he called blood traitors, because they weren't from purely magical families. Arriving at Hogwarts, the students were led across a vast, dark lake in small boats, the castle's towers glowing mysteriously in the moonlight. The air was thick with magic and anticipation. Inside the great hall, thousands of candles floated above 4 long tables where the students sat, eager to learn their fates. The Sorting Hat, an ancient magical hat that could read the minds and hearts of students, was placed on each new student's head to decide their house. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin? Harry sat nervously as the hat whispered in his ear. He pleaded silently not to be placed in Slytherin, the house of his rival Draco Malfoy. After a moment the hat shouted, "Gryffindor," and the hall erupted in cheers. Harry breathed a sigh of relief. But even as the celebrations filled the room, strange things were already beginning to happen. Whispers of a dark secret, long buried, seemed to echo through the halls. The legend of the Chamber of Secrets, the school's hidden chamber that housed a terrible monster, was spoken of in fearful tones. It was said that only the heir of Slytherin, a descendant of one of the school's founders, could open the chamber and unleash the beast inside. And then the first terrible attack occurred. A student was found petrified, frozen as if by an unseen force. Panic gripped the school. More attacks followed, each more frightening than the last. The school was on edge, teachers and students alike wondering who would be next, and whether the Chamber of Secrets had truly been opened again after all these years. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were determined to uncover the truth. Though suspicion fell on Harry because of his rare ability to speak Parseltongue language of snakes that refused to let doubt break their friendship or their resolve. Together they began to investigate, exploring hidden passages, decoding cryptic messages, and uncovering the secrets buried deep beneath Hogwarts' ancient stones. The story that unfolded was one of courage, loyalty, and the struggle between good and evil. A tale of friendship tested by fear, and a young boy's journey to face the darkness threatening the place he called home. The tension at Hogwarts grew heavier with each passing day. Students whispered in hallways, casting anxious glances over their shoulders. The once lively corridors now echoed with fear, and every shadow seemed to hide an unseen menace. The petrified victims, frozen as if by magic, were displayed in the infirmary, their faces frozen in terror, their bodies stiff and unresponsive. No one knew how to cure them, and the mystery only deepened. Harry felt the weight of suspicion more than anyone. His ability to speak Parseltongue, something very few wizards could do, made others wary. Whispers followed him like a shadow, and even some friends hesitated. But Ron and Hermione stood firmly by his side, their loyalty unwavering. They knew Harry's heart, and they believed in him. In their search for answers, the trio delved into Hogwarts' rich history, uncovering tales long forgotten. They learned about Salazar Slytherin, one of the school's founders who had a vision for a pure wizarding community. His hatred for Muggle-borns, those born to non-magical parents, had led to the creation of the Chamber of Secrets. The legend said that only his true heir could open the chamber and unleash the monster within, a creature that could purge the school of those deemed unworthy. As the attacks continued, a mysterious voice began to haunt Harry, whispering in a language only he could understand. It echoed in empty halls and dark corners, chilling him to the bone. The voice seemed to be coming from the walls themselves, a sinister reminder that the chamber was real and its threat was very near. One of the most frightening moments came when Harry and Ron were trapped inside the school after the main gates were sealed. Their only way out was a daring escape in the enchanted flying car, a bright turquoise Ford Anglia, which belonged to the Weasley family. The car soared over the school grounds, dodging trees and outwitting teachers in pursuit, until it crash-landed in the Forbidden Forest, leaving the boys shaken but determined. Meanwhile, Hermione, ever the scholar, continued to piece together clues. She discovered a mysterious diary that seemed to hold secrets from the past. When she wrote in it, she found herself communicating with someone named Tom Riddle, a student who had attended Hogwarts decades before. The diary revealed frightening details about the opening of the Chamber of Secrets 50 years earlier. Hermione's discovery proved to be a turning point, but before she could reveal all she knew, she too was attacked and petrified. The school was in chaos, and Harry and Ron were more determined than ever to solve the mystery. With the diary's help, Harry learned that Tom Riddle was none other than a younger version of Voldemort, the dark wizard who had once tried to kill him. The realization was chilling. The monster within the chamber was a basilisk, a giant serpent whose deadly gaze could turn a person to stone. The monster was being controlled by the air, and Harry knew he had to find the entrance to the chamber and face the danger himself. Guided by clues and his bravery, Harry descended into the hidden depths beneath Hogwarts. There he found Ginny Weasley, Ron's younger sister, unconscious and trapped. She had been manipulated by Tom Riddle through the diary, forced to open the chamber and unleash the monster. In the heart of the chamber, Harry confronted the basilisk. With the help of Fawkes, Dumbledore's loyal Phoenix, and a magical sword that had belonged to Godric Gryffindor, Harry fought the deadly serpent and defeated it. He destroyed the diary, breaking Riddle's control and saving Ginny. The school breathed a sigh of relief as the petrified victims were healed, and the mystery was finally solved. Hogwarts returned to its joyful, lively self, and the darkness lifted from its halls. Harry, Ron, and Hermione's friendship grew stronger through their trials. They had faced danger, suspicion, and fear, but their courage and loyalty had triumphed. And though the world of magic was filled with unknowns, they knew that together they could face whatever challenges came next. The days following the terrifying events at Hogwarts were filled with a mixture of relief and lingering unease. The school was alive once more with the chatter of students, the clang of pots and pans in the great hall, and the bustling footsteps in the corridors. Yet, beneath the laughter, a quiet tension remained, a reminder of the danger they had faced and the darkness that had almost consumed them all. Harry found himself reflecting on the incredible challenges they had overcome. The story of the Chamber of Secrets, once a whispered myth told to frighten young students, was now a stark reality. Salazar Slytherin's hatred for those he considered unworthy had led to the creation of a hidden chamber deep beneath Hogwarts, a secret so powerful that it could unleash a monster capable of terrorizing the entire school. This dark legacy had cast a long shadow over the halls and hearts of those who lived within the castle. The revelation that Tom Riddle was the young incarnation of Voldemort, the most feared dark wizard of their time, sent chills through Harry's bones. It was almost impossible to imagine that the seemingly harmless diary held such a terrible evil inside. Yet that evil had managed to manipulate and control Ginny Weasley, a sweet and innocent girl who had unwittingly become a pawn in its deadly game. Harry's journey into the chamber had been perilous, filled with dangers both seen and unseen. The moment he stepped into the dark, damp depths beneath the castle, he felt the weight of history pressing down on him, the footsteps of those who had come before, the silent watch of ancient stones, and the ominous breath of the basilisk lurking in the shadows. The monster was a giant serpent, its eyes deadly, capable of turning anyone who met its gaze to stone. It was a creature born of darkness and fear, a living weapon forged to serve hatred. But Harry was not alone. His courage was bolstered by the unwavering loyalty of his friends and the unexpected help of Fawkes, Dumbledore's magnificent phoenix. The bird's radiant feathers glowed like embers, and its song brought hope in the darkest moments. When Harry was injured by the basilisk, it was Fawkes' tears, known for their healing power, that saved him from death. The sword of Godric Gryffindor, a symbol of bravery and honor, was another gift that helped Harry triumph. It appeared at just the right moment, gleaming with ancient magic, and Harry used it to defeat the basilisk, piercing the beast and ending its reign of terror. Yet the battle was more than just a fight with a monster. Harry had to face the cunning and cruelty of Tom Riddle himself. Though trapped in a magical diary, Riddle's presence was strong and menacing. He taunted Harry, boasting of his past deeds and threatening to return to power. But Harry, filled with determination and the strength of his own character, stood firm. With a decisive strike, he destroyed the diary, breaking the spell that bound Ginny and banishing the dark influence once and for all. The aftermath of these events was a time of healing and hope. The students who had been petrified were restored to life, their fear replaced by gratitude and relief. The castle's walls, once silent witnesses to horror, now echoed with laughter and song once more. Teachers and students alike breathed a collective sigh of relief, grateful that the darkness had been vanquished. Through it all, Harry, Ron, and Hermione's friendship grew even stronger. They had faced fear, suspicion, and danger, but their loyalty to each other never wavered. Their shared experiences had forged a bond that no darkness could break, a bond built on trust, courage, and love. As the school year drew to a close, Harry knew that the world beyond Hogwarts held many more mysteries and dangers. But with his friends by his side and the lessons he had learned, he felt ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. The story of the Chamber of Secrets was not just about a hidden room or a deadly serpent. It was about the power of choice, the choices to stand against evil, to protect those who cannot protect themselves, and to believe in the good, even when the shadows seem overwhelming. And so, as the sun set behind the towers of Hogwarts, casting long golden rays across the grounds, Harry looked toward the future with hope. His journey was just beginning, and though the road ahead might be difficult, he knew he would never walk it alone. With the mystery of the chamber solved and the monster defeated, Hogwarts began to heal from the darkness that had threatened it. The days grew brighter, and the castle's ancient halls buzzed with renewed life. Yet even in times of peace, the lessons learned lingered in the hearts of its students. Harry, Ron, and Hermione found themselves forever changed by the trials they had faced together. Throughout the ordeal, the trio had uncovered much about themselves and the magical world. They had seen how fear and suspicion could divide even the closest of friends, and how courage and trust could bind people in unbreakable ways. Harry learned that being different was not a weakness but a strength, and that true bravery meant standing up for what was right, even when the world seemed against you. As the school year drew to a close, Harry's thoughts turned to the future. He wondered what other secrets Hogwarts might hold, what adventures awaited him beyond the castle walls, and how he might continue to face the dark forces growing in the world. Yet, despite the uncertainty, he felt a deep sense of belonging, a feeling he had never experienced before arriving at Hogwarts. The friendships forged in the fires of danger became a source of comfort and strength. Ron's loyalty and humor lifted Harry's spirits during the darkest times, while Hermione's sharp mind and determination helped solve the riddles that others could not. Together they were a team united by shared experiences and a bond stronger than any spell. Meanwhile, the school's teachers and staff resumed their roles with renewed dedication. Professors McGonagall and Dumbledore reminded students of the importance of kindness and bravery, while Hagrid's gentle nature continued to bring warmth to the coldest days. Even Gilderoy Lockhart, the flamboyant new professor whose exaggerated tales had caused much amusement, faced the consequences of his actions, reminding everyone that true heroism came from humility and genuine courage. As Harry packed his belongings to return home for the summer, he carried with him more than just his books and robes. He carried memories of friendship, lessons of bravery, and the hope that even in a world filled with darkness, light could always be found. The enchanted castle, standing tall against the sky, held countless stories yet to be told. For Harry Potter, the journey was only beginning, a journey filled with magic, friendship, and the enduring fight between good and evil. As the school year came to a close, the halls of Hogwarts once again filled with the joyful noise of students preparing to return home for the summer. The dark clouds that had once threatened the castle had passed, and light returned to every corner. Harry, Ron, and Hermione stood together, their friendship stronger than ever, knowing that they had faced something truly terrifying and come out victorious. The trials they endured were more than just battles with monsters and dark magic. They had been tests of character, bravery, and loyalty. Harry had learned that being different was a gift, not a curse, and that true strength came from the heart. He had seen the power of friendship in its purest form, as Ron and Hermione stood by him through every challenge. The school's mysteries were far from over, and Harry knew that more adventures awaited him. But for now he cherished the peace and the simple joys, the laughter with friends, the warmth of the Gryffindor common room, and the gentle guidance of teachers who believed in him. As the Hogwarts Express steamed away from the station, carrying Harry back to the Muggle world and the Dursleys' house, he looked out the window with hope and determination. The world was vast, filled with magic and mystery, danger and wonder, and Harry Potter was ready to face it all. With courage in his heart and friends by his side, he knew that no matter what came next, he would never face it alone. And so, with the mystery unraveled and the school safe once more, Harry returned home for the summer, carrying not just the sword of Gryffindor, but the quiet courage that comes from facing darkness and choosing what is right. The castle would slumber until autumn, and the whispering walls would await the return of a boy who, once again, proved that even the smallest voice can silence the deepest fear. But the journey was far from over, for magic never truly sleeps.